Hello and welcome in this new History Police video. So I have watched the first two episodes of My Lady Jane. And these are my thoughts. Interesting. Original. Unpredictable. But do I really like it? You're gonna have to watch that video then. Alright, in this video, what I really want us to do is to discuss a few things. I want to discuss the two first episodes, and I'm going to do a breakdown of all the episodes because I still need to keep watching them. And I would like to tell you what I liked and what I really didn't like. And I know, please don't come in the comments to teach me that it's actually alternative history, you know, like it's not real history. I know that. I also know that it's historical fiction. Thank you very much. I do teach it at university. However, I do believe when that you do historical fiction, it's because you love history. And I do know that they spend the time, the people who worked on My Lady Jane, into hiring very good historians, one of them being Dr. Joan Paul, one of my dearest friends. So I know that they cared about, you know, historical accuracy in this madness of a show. However, there are still things that can annoy me in many ways because I think my frustration, okay, let me put it that way, because when I'm thinking about what I want to say, my frustration is just that the story of Lady Jane Grey could have been made so interesting if we had just, I'm sorry to say that, but if we were just stuck to history. I think it's a story of a brave, intelligent young woman, which the show is showing, so I love that, who was used as a political pawn by her father-in-law, but not just much father-in-law, by her own father, by her mother, and by the people in the government. So yeah, let's discuss a few things. You see here you have, obviously, My Lady Jane, who is good friends with Edward VI. Was it historically accurate? Yes, they did get on. They were good friends, they were obviously cousins, and they did get on. They had the same faith, which helped. Now, were they that good friends? I doubt it. I think as well, like, making it as if Edward only trusted Jane is a bit weird. He saw her as a very good potential in terms of faith, so yes. But I'm not sure that there's like this very strong friendship between them that is depicted in the show. And I think that here we will also have this portrayal of Edward VI almost as a young, good person, despite the health problems. So there are other health problems, but he's a good, well-intended person, and I don't think that's actually true. I think Edward VI would have been a tyrant if he had lived longer. I think he was someone, you know, actually, if we're looking at historical fiction and historical, you know, depiction, portrayal, one of the best one is definitely Edward VI in Becoming Elizabeth. That's exactly how I would imagine him. It's exactly how we can see in the sources and the primary sources how he would have been. So here again, that doesn't really look true to me. What I love is Jane's character. I love how she is strong. I love how she's intelligent. I love that we show her intellect, her interest in education. All of this is true. So that is just brilliant. Her relationship with her sisters, a bit weird and awkward, so I'm not sure about in the first two episodes. Her relationship with her mother, very weird. Here they made her father die. I'm not sure why. Because he played a huge part in the coronation of Guildford and Jane. This is actually the reason why Lady Jane Grey is going to be executed. Do you hear me here? Her own father is going to be the reason, because he doesn't stop. And I think here we remove a huge part of the true history that would have been very important to understand what happened between Mary and Jane. Now, it's a completely crazy thing because you have magical stuff, people who can, you know, change into animals. Spoiler alerts, obviously, in this whole video, but like Guildford himself is a horse. Yeah. Okay. Like, it's like, why not? I love this type of, of writing. I love this type of stories. But I was just so excited to have more about Jane as a historical character than as a fantasy one. And though their relationship is quite cute, they, lust at first sight, and they obviously have this strong chemistry, which works so well on screen, and it's probably one of the strengths, biggest strengths of the show. I just felt like there's so much more to show and to give and to explain about them, explain about these two young people. And obviously in this show it's not about the real history. But let me tell you what the real history actually was. We're going to do the real history of the first 2 episodes, so let's go back when Lady Jane Grey was introduced to Guildford Dudley. Lady Jane Grey was born around 1537. She was the great-granddaughter of Henry VII through his youngest daughter, Mary Tudor, Duchess of Suffolk. She is the great-niece of Henry VIII and cousin of Edward VI, Mary I and Elizabeth I. Under the will of Henry VIII, Jane was put in line to the throne after her cousin. So, she just didn't appear in Edward VI's reign. Even under Henry VIII's reign, he put his great-niece in the line of succession. Which is a very interesting point, I think, because it shows that it's not just about the relationship between Edward VI and Jane, it's about her birthright. She had a humanist education and a reputation as one of the most learned young women of her day. Her and Elizabeth I shared a passion for education, a passion for learning. And actually I say Elizabeth I because Elizabeth was kind of around the same age, right? But it's the same for Mary. And these women were really into learning, into, showing an interest in reading and books and being quite different in their thinking. In May 1553, she was married to Lord Guildford Dudley, a younger son of Edward VI's chief minister John Dudley, Duke of Northumberland. A month after the marriage, Edward VI changed his will and changed the right of succession and put Jane and Guildford as his heirs to the throne. He truly believed that Jane would continue to reform the country and that the Church of England, as he established it, would thrive under Jane's rule. The will removed his half-sisters Mary and Elizabeth altogether and declared them illegitimate. After Edward VI's death, Jane was proclaimed Queen on the 10th of July, 1553, and awaited coronation in the Tower of London. Okay, I'm going to stop here. In the show, in the first 2 episodes, you have Lady Jane not wanting to get married. You have her, and when she tried to escape, she met Guildford Dudley, who turns out also to be a horse, during the day, and then he turns himself as a human being at night. So he has a very bad reputation of a womanizer, someone who is always drinking, always out. Anyway. And the first 2 episodes, they're gonna get married. She's gonna fake her own death, or she's gonna try. That is a funny scene, I have to say. I have to admit, very ingenious, very interesting, very entertaining scene. You should watch it. It's quite funny. This show is funny. It's all about the fun, right? But my problem with this type of show is there's you have Elizabeth that is almost playing a second role in all of this. Okay, fair enough. She's not an active player at the time anyway, fair enough. But why having her at all then? I don't know. And then you have Mary, who's actually her lover is Seymour, who is supposed to be dead at the time. So that's when it gets very weird and very, very complicated in my head. I'm just why did you need to do that? Why do you need to have Mary as a villain? Mary is trying to kill her brother, so she's trying to poison him. Why do we need this? She obviously didn't. She really didn't. And I think popular culture in general does a disservice to historians to try so hard to reassess all these dark legends, you know, of Catherine de Medici with the Serpent Queen, or of Mary the First, Bloody Mary. We try so hard, like, this actually is not true, and then boom, the popular culture, you're gonna have a big show on Amazon Prime, woo, on Stars, woo! And again, you have the same old shit again. Like Serpent Queen, Dark Queen, Bloody Mary, she's so evil, she tried to kill her own brother and all of it, and she loved Edward. I mean, Edward was a nasty piece of work, but she loved him. She was like his godmother. It was heartbreaking for her when he forced her, like tried to force her to renounce Catholicism, when he removed her from the line of succession with Elizabeth. There's like, and I think we're missing all of this. We're just trying to have a kind of a villain to explain the rivalry between Jane and Mary, but the rivalry between Jane and Mary was planted by men. And the rivalry between the two cousins is so much more complex. And I just wish that we had such a good show to show us that. Because there's so much that the public needs to know and understand about these two women. And the fact that they were not that different from each other. So the first two episodes are very entertaining. We're going through like this fantasy world with people who can change into animals and who, you know, all of this. It's great. But each time that we have parts of history, it's just a missed opportunity, I guess. And for a show who's trying to finally to put the spotlight on Lady Jane, I'm telling you, it sounds weird. It's gonna sound weird to you when I say that, but her true enemy was not Mary. Her true enemy were the men who put her in that position in the first place, especially for Jane, who I believe really wanted just to have life writing. I think she would have become an author, she would have loved to write, she was so intelligent, and we have that in the show. I think that putting these two women against one another is not the best way to tell the story of Lady Jane Grey. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the two first episodes, and then we'll keep reviewing them, and I'll keep telling you the real history behind all these crazy shows. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.